Hello, friends, and welcome back to Tantra and Tarot with Kelly. Today, we will be doing a tarot reading for the new moon in Capricorn, which is exact December 23rd, 2022 at 3:16 a.m. Mountain Time at 2 degrees of Capricorn. First off, I'd like to wish a happy birthday to all Capricorns. And I'd like to give a huge thank you to all of my new subscribers. You're really helping me grow as a channel, and it means a lot to me. So for today's reading, I'm going to be using the Osho Zen Tarot along with the Animal Spirit deck, the I Ching deck, and a few other decks that I have here. So let's talk a bit about this moon cycle. Capricorn is symbolically the water goat and is cardinal earth, beginning our winter season. And as I am filming this, we are at the winter solstice, building light into the next calendar year. This moon is a powerful activation for the Capricorn areas of life, such as money, resources, career, cautiousness, security, and discipline. Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, which can feel difficult or limiting, but when we put in the effort, our work pays off in the long run. I'm going to go ahead and cut the deck here. Let's see what we have at the bottom of the deck. At the bottom of the deck, I have the Two of Cups. It says here, friendliness. So we will see how that comes into play in the reading. All right, I'm going to take a main energy, a past, a present, and a future. And then I'll shuffle up these other decks here. So how does this moon cycle feel to me? To me, it feels like order after chaos. The chaos of Neptune square Mars and the sun plus, wants to be that one, plus our dramatic Gemini full moon that we just had. So we've also had a long year of trials and lessons. So hopefully this new moon will help bring some of that into order. With the ruling planet of Saturn in Aquarius, it does provide for innovation of thought and original solutions to our usual tasks. So during this new moon, the moon will be square Jupiter, the planet of wisdom, as it ingresses into Aries at the world point of 0 degrees Aries, standing for freedom, spontaneity, and adventure. Yeah, so at this time, you may be inwardly working out the future as it relates to those areas. New moons are also a great time for quiet reflection. During this time, we will also have Chiron stationing direct on December 23rd as well, which is the asteroid of the wounded healer, which can bring up some discomfort. So shining light on those conditions that leave us feeling controlled, such as conflicts with people over managerial issues and power struggles, such as perhaps your boss at work, or things that we want to break free from, which may feel like a prison. So remember that your trials did not come to punish you, however, to awaken you. Cap can also represent the family and or your parents. So we may be healing those areas as well, or any areas of limiting authority that you are trying to work through. All right, so let's see what we have here. It looks like I'm just missing the animal spirit card. So I will grab that. But basically, if it does feel like some unfair punishment in the short run, we do have to figure out what the lesson is here. And I see it as being your own higher authority, as opposed to leaving that up for grabs to the universe to designate someone else externally, which would likely feel much more uncomfortable. So at the end of the week, if you still feel confusion or chaos, just do your best to take things at face value and try not to overlay the present with the past. So let's see what we have here for the tarot. The main energy I have is the Six of Pentacles. It says compromise. Past energy, the Sun. Present energy, mind. This is the Knight of Swords. And the future energy I have is understanding, which is the Knight of Cups. So a couple of knights here. And at the bottom of the deck, when I cut, I have slowing down, which is also a knight. It is the Knight of Pentacles. So let's see what else we have, and then we'll talk about this in more detail. The animal spirit card I have is the bear. The archetype card I have is Rebel. The Moonology card I have is Bring Love into the Situation, New Moon in Aquarius, which will be our next new moon. And that is also where we have Saturn at this time. Our first I Ching card is number 38, which I believe is opposition. And the second one is number 26, containment of potential, I believe. So let's take a look at those in a few minutes. But as we're talking about the tarot, I see here that we do have several Pentacles cards here. We have the Six of Pentacles, which represents that equal give and take, very much as it relates to work, I feel. So if you're having some challenges come up with your job or with the things that you need to be doing for work, obviously we want to have fairness, and fairness and balance comes in many different ways. It may come how you're being treated. It could become with the money that you're being paid. It may come even with honesty, as people are telling you the truth about their situation in order to try to get your support. So just be careful that anything you're doing right at this time does have this equal compromise, that you aren't overgiving of yourself or becoming a martyr just to be within a particular set of circumstances. Like, don't take charity at this time, of course, unless you actually need it. But charity is not a substitution for love, nor is it a substitution for respect. If you're looking to get respect out of your boss, then certainly you would like to get paid what it is that you're worth. So say at this time, you don't feel like you're getting equal pay for equal worth, it is a good time to slow down, to take a look at what's going on, and to be a good observer, and to just take one step forward towards the lesson that you would like to learn and or what you'd like to manifest right now. So say you feel like you are owed a raise, then we're going to just make a plan, maybe a 30, 60, 90 plan in that Capricorn way, to come up with how we're going to slowly get to the point where you feel like things are more balanced. It may not come right away. You may actually have to have some patience with it. And interestingly enough, after I picked up this card, which I love with the turtle, which one step at a time, we do have underneath it is the Tower card. So sometimes being honest about those things which you do need to become more balanced can rock the boat in a way that it makes some major changes. And I do think that those changes are going to be positive. However, like we said, it could feel difficult in the short run, but in the long run, it really is for your better good and for that higher awakening. This card here says innocence, and much like this old man, in his head, he feels childlike. He's here talking to these praying mantis, and in that childlike way, finding wonder in new areas of life, wondering what positivity could bring you at this time, as opposed to feeling let down or negative, which may be leaving you feel like you're stuck in the head. So if you're rolling around a lot of ideas, if you've been thinking a lot, then it is going to be a good idea to figure out which is the most positive outcome of the situation, as to get you a little bit out of your head and to get you trusting more into the future that there will be good, positive things coming. And as this relates to the holidays, well, I just see that there's going to be a lot of different types of people around you. We may have somebody who's thinking too much. We may have somebody that's really happy. Perhaps we're having somebody that's going through some major changes, or just someone that just wants to sit there and listen. So, and at the bottom, I have receptivity, which may also be that water sign female that has helped bringing everything together, much like the maternal figure. So interestingly enough, if it is a difficult change, I do feel like we said, it's going to be positive in the long run, and it may feel a little hard as you're going through it at this time. The rebel card here says, challenges authority to affect social change, rejects spiritual systems that do not serve inner needs. Shadow attributes rejects legitimate authority out of anger, rebels out of peer pressure or fashion. So be very careful about how you are working with that authority. If you are, say, trying to be too much of an authority figure to others, then maybe you need to back down and allow those other people to learn for themselves or prove to you that they actually have the skills that you may or may not think they have. And if they do happen to rebel, then at that point, it would be a better time to talk about what compromise can bring more balance to the situation. But what I think is great is that we do have Saturn in the house of Aquarius, which is much more of that rebellious influence. And if you feel like you're ready to break the chains of some old patterns, then by all means, let's do it. But let's do it with love. It says bring love into the situation as opposed to creating some kind of extra conflict. So that could be a little bit of a challenge, but our next full moon will be the new moon in Aquarius. And so perhaps at that time, after we reach this 30-day mark from this new moon, we will feel like things are moving ahead in a way that makes a lot more sense. So just be patient. It could be a little bit of a waiting game here. However, if you are waiting, try not to get too stuck in your head and still have those loving and positive times that the holidays can bring, regardless of what challenges you may be going right now. So let's read about this bear card, and then we'll talk a bit more about the I Ching. All right. The bear is an earth element, much like our Capricorn is an earth element. So it says here, bear, waking from spiritual slumber, beginning anew. After a long winter, the bear arises from deep slumber. At first, the movement and effort are difficult, but bear knows that it's time to awaken and move toward the dawning light. The bear card represents an individual on the cusp of new directions and personal transformation. The initial weeks and months of this spiritual quest may feel tricky, cumbersome, and full of obstacles. But if you have no choice, bear, winter wanes and the warmth of spring emerges and your transformation begins. So we are just at the cusp of this new year and making and setting your goals towards what is that going to bring. It may feel like we are waking up after a long year and now we're ready to put some things into action. It says when in balance, inner strength, learning to grow. When out of balance, withdraw, lethargy, heaviness. Bring into balance, movement, exercise. Well, I think that is a great piece of advice to get out there and to raise your energy up and raise that frequency up so that you can handle any of these challenges or changes as they come, or any of these new beginnings for you do feel like something positive based on your mindset of positivity as opposed to negativity, which could make you perhaps feel that lethargy, perhaps some more. So let's see what we have here for the I Ching. We have number 38, which is diverging interests. It says, fire above, lake below. Some level of estrangement is indicated. For example, when brothers and sisters choose partners and marry, they often grow apart since their allegiances prioritize new families. Though they will remain close enough to deal with problems and interests related to their original family, they are less likely to undertake great projects together. Simply put, when people grow apart, even for the most natural reasons, their points of view, values, interests, and schedules diverge. Different natures and interests bring opposition into the world of human affairs. If opposition drifts into alienation and enmity, good results are few, if at all. But when opposition takes the form of healthy competition, or when it is recognized as part of the natural order of things, good fortune is still possible for the relationship. So definitely bringing order out of that chaos, like we discussed, When diverging interests make a situation seem stagnant or futile, remember that there are always creative possibilities inherent in polarity. So, as we were talking about, those creative solutions with Saturn and Aquarius should be helping you at this time. One is reminded of the interplay of opposites, yin and yang, which is fundamental to life itself. As the symbol of Tao illustrates, the yin and yang each have the seed of the other riding within them. If opposition has its roots in an issue of principle, you must hold to your integrity and individuality, let go of vulgar or self-absorbed people who do not share your values. With both people and companies, one measure of stature and the other of one's competition. So yeah, just being very mindful. Like if somebody is trying to micromanage you at this time and you don't think it's necessary, saying the right thing to them as to not burn the bridge, or at least to release the situation so you can move in a more free way. We can all be better managers of ourselves at times, and certainly doing that helps from having that external authority from coming in and telling us what it thinks we should do. So let's read number 26, and then I'll look at the special line that is between the two cards. So number 26 is containment of potential. This points to the command and control of great power, a power that increases as it is widely stewarded. Like a river that has been dammed or a pot of boiling water with a lid clamped on, holding and containing power produces an enormous potential. During normal times, daily ritual and habit keep life ordered and serene. In times of exceptional opportunity, the force of a powerful personality is required. Focused attention is required to channel this potential and achieve supreme success, much like a very revered boss or leader. You have considerable reserves of energy and support to draw upon. This is an excellent time to nurture creativity by collecting and organizing your best ideas and plans. Now, even large and difficult undertakings can be successful with that great Capricornian work effort, of course. A hidden source of power for those who wish to do noble deeds is the study of the past. The lives of wise and successful men and women are like treasures buried in the earth. Good fortune comes to those who unearth such valuable treasures by applying the lessons of the ages to their current situation. So really a great time for reflecting over all the lessons that you've learned this year. We had Uranus square Saturn for the majority of the year, and that is starting to ease off. So there were a lot of lessons that we've learned over this past calendar year. And moving into the new year, let's make it about new situations and not old lessons. All right. Sounds like a good plan to me. Let's see what our changing line is for numbers 38 and 26. Let's see here. We have the lines let's see here, line 3, line 4 are the only two changing lines. So let's read both lines 3 and line 4, and that'll give us a bit more insight on this new moon in Capricorn. All right, so it says line 3, and this came up actually a few moons ago. So this must be an ongoing lesson that we're working with. Line 3, this is the line of Murphy's Law. Everything that could go wrong has gone wrong. The chaos. It may seem at times that the universe is conspiring against you, but when opposition to progress is at its peak, an opening soon emerges. When bad luck strikes, the best strategy may be to join up with someone whose luck is better than yours right now. Jupiter. With the right attitude and persistence, good fortune returns in the end. All right, number 4. If you find yourself in a group of people with whom you have little in common, seeds of opposition can turn into personal isolation. In such circumstances, the ideal solution is to find someone with whom you can share deep interests and unwavering trust. Through the taking of a good friend or partner, inner opposition can be overcome. So we may be learning lessons about ourselves and our differences right now as they pertain to the community as a whole or our partnerships in the home. either way, it is a learning time and it's a time to apply those lessons. And I really hope that in doing so, it brings you more peace. I wish everyone a very lovely solstice time, winter solstice time, and holiday time. I hope you're enjoying just some nice quiet time with your family or your loved ones, or getting away from it all to relax. Thanks again for watching, and I will be back for some 2023 predictions for all signs, as well as a full moon video here coming up very soon. All right. Thanks so much. Have a lovely holiday season, and I will talk to you very soon. And Happy New Year. Happy 2023. Please subscribe to my channel for more Tantra and Tarot.